You've done it 100 times today. You leaned down, pressed your lips to your baby's soft little cheek, and felt that rush of pure love. But here's the question nobody ever asks. What did your baby actually feel in that moment? Not what we assume, not what we hope. What the science actually says is happening inside that tiny brain. And I promise you, it's going to change the way you see every single kiss from this moment forward. Stay with me, because what researchers discovered is something most parents never hear about. Before we get into the science, think about this. Your baby came into this world with almost nothing figured out. They couldn't walk, they couldn't talk, they couldn't feed themselves. But there was one thing they were born completely ready for: touch. From the very first moments after birth, your baby's skin is the most powerful communication tool they have. Scientists call this tactile processing. And in newborns, it is more developed than sight, more developed than hearing, and in many ways, more powerful than anything else. When you kiss your baby, you're not just showing love, you are sending a direct signal to the most primitive, most emotional part of their brain, the limbic system. This is the part of the brain responsible for attachment, for security, for the feeling of being safe in the world. And here's what's remarkable. Your baby doesn't need to understand language to receive that signal. They don't need to be old enough to recognize your face. From the very first day of life, a kiss from you activates something deep and ancient in their brain that essentially says, "You are safe. You are loved. You are not alone." Now let's talk about what's happening chemically. Every time you kiss your baby, their brain releases a hormone called oxytocin. You might have heard it called the love hormone or the bonding hormone, and for good reason. Oxytocin is the chemical that creates attachment. It's the same hormone released between mothers and babies during breastfeeding. It's the same hormone that makes you feel connected to the people you love most. And here's the part that will blow your mind. Research from the University of Wisconsin found that even brief physical contact, a kiss, a cuddle, a gentle touch, can raise oxytocin levels in infants by up to 20% within minutes. 20%. That tiny kiss you gave your baby this morning, it literally flooded their brain with the chemical that makes them feel loved and connected to you. But it doesn't stop there. When oxytocin rises, cortisol drops. Cortisol is the stress hormone, the chemical that makes your baby feel anxious, overwhelmed, or afraid. Studies show that physical affection like kissing directly lowers cortisol levels in infants, calming their nervous system in a way that almost nothing else can match. So when your baby relaxes into your kiss, when their little body softens and they let out that tiny sigh, that's not just cute. That's their stress response literally switching off because of you. Here's something that surprised even the researchers who discovered it. Your lips carry information. When you kiss your baby, your lips are actually sampling their skin, picking up chemical signals about their current health, their temperature, their immune status. This process, which scientists believe is connected to the microbiome transfer between parent and child, helps your body produce the exact antibodies your baby needs in that moment. Your kiss is literally custom-made for your baby's biology. But what does your baby sense from your lips? Warmth, pressure, scent, heartbeat. Studies on infant sensory processing show that babies recognize their mother's lip temperature within the first weeks of life. They can distinguish the warmth of a parental kiss from any other touch, and they respond differently to it. Researchers found that babies who received regular physical affection, including kissing, in their first months, showed measurably stronger reactions of calm and recognition compared to babies who received less contact. They knew, even at 2 weeks old, they knew it was you. By the way, if you're finding this interesting and you want to keep understanding what's really going on inside your baby's mind, make sure you subscribe to Behind the Baby Eyes. We post new videos every week, breaking down the science of your baby's world in a way that actually makes sense for parents. Hit that subscribe button. It means a lot, and I'll see you in the next one. Babies don't form explicit memories, the kind you can recall and describe, until around age 2 or 3. But here's what the science shows us. They form implicit memories, emotional imprints that don't require conscious recollection, but shape everything about how they feel in the world. Think of it like this. You might not remember being held as a newborn. You have no visual memory of your parents kissing you in those first weeks. But those experiences left a mark on your brain that researchers believe influences your ability to trust, to attach, to feel safe in relationships for the rest of your life. The same is true for your baby right now. Every kiss you give them is writing a story in their brain. Not in words, not in images, but in feelings, in patterns of safety and connection that will shape who they become. Dr. Alan Shore, one of the world's leading researchers in infant brain development, describes this as affective attunement, the process by which a parent's loving touch literally sculpts the neural pathways of a baby's developing brain. Your kisses are not just love, they are architecture. They are building the emotional foundation your child will stand on for the rest of their life. Now, I want to be very clear here. This is not about making any parent feel guilty. Every parent does the best they can, and the fact that you're watching a video like this tells me everything I need to know about the kind of parent you are. But the science on this is too important not to share. Studies on infant deprivation, including the famous research on orphanages in Romania in the 1990s, showed that babies who received minimal physical affection, even when their basic needs for food and shelter were met, showed dramatically different brain development compared to babies who were regularly held, kissed, and touched. Less gray matter in emotional regulation areas, higher baseline cortisol, greater difficulty with attachment later in life. The researchers were so disturbed by these findings that the studies changed international policy on infant care. Physical affection, kissing, holding, skin contact, is not a luxury. It is a biological necessity. Your baby's brain is literally expecting it, waiting for it, wiring itself around it. And you, just by being the parent you are giving them exactly what they need. There's one final piece of this that I think is the most beautiful of all. Your baby knows your kiss by smell. Studies from the Monell Chemical Senses Center found that newborns can identify their mother's scent within hours of birth. Not days, hours. When you kiss your baby and your face comes close to theirs, they are breathing in your unique chemical signature, a combination of your skin, your breath, your microbiome that is completely unlike anyone else on Earth. And their brain responds to it like a key fitting a lock. Heart rate slows, breathing deepens, muscle tension releases. There is one smell in the entire world that does this to your baby. Yours. Think about that the next time you lean in for a kiss. In that moment, your baby is receiving a signal more ancient than language, more powerful than any words you could ever say. You are my person. I am safe. This is home. So the next time you kiss your baby, and I hope that's in the next few minutes, remember what's actually happening. Oxytocin flooding their brain, cortisol dropping, neural pathways forming, emotional memories being written. That tiny, simple, everyday moment, it is one of the most powerful things you will ever do for another human being. And you do it without even thinking about it. That's not just parenting. That's love doing exactly what science always knew it could. If this video made you see your baby differently, share it with another parent who needs to hear this. And if you want to keep going deeper into the science of your baby's incredible mind, subscribe to Behind the Baby Eyes. We have so much more coming that I think you're going to love. I'll see you in the next one.